Inspiration.com.
You cannot censor me, YouTube. I don't know what happened, but I reviewed a certain movie quite a while ago, and that review no longer exists on YouTube. So fuck you. Hereditary. Let's do this again. And actually, good. The little time has passed. I've gotten to see the movie again. I've gotten to think about the movie some more. So my rating is going to be a little bit different. Hereditary is the most fucked up movie I have seen in I don't know how long. It is up there with Exorcist as far as a movie that truly disturbed me. And I think my original rating for it might have been 3 stars. It's going up. So stay tuned. The movie, and I don't want to get into spoilers for it because it's really, this is a movie you have to experience. The movie is about a family falling apart and witches. It's great in that you could take the supernatural element out of it, and this would work perfectly as a family drama, as a devastating family drama. You have, the movie opens with the grandmother. She has died. Toni Collette is her daughter, married to Gabriel Byrne, and they have 2 children. And Toni Collette was never really close to her mother. They were estranged, but she's dealing with her mother's death and the secrets that her mother kept from her, which are still secret to her. Meantime, another death occurs in the family. This time, the daughter, who I believe, they never really say. I think the daughter was supposed to be autistic. She dies in an incredibly gruesome way through an accident involving her older brother. And the family just falls apart. The scene in which Toni Collette finds her daughter, the way that they shoot it is, you don't see her. You see the son is sort of in shock after his sister's death, and so he's sort of just in a fog. He's sort of wandering around in a fog. He actually goes to bed. He doesn't fall asleep, but he's just so traumatized by it that he can't deal with it. And so you just see him lying in bed, eyes open, and you hear Toni Collette find the body of her daughter in this horrific state. And it is heartbreaking. It is very difficult to watch. It's actually more difficult to watch on a second viewing because you know what's coming. It doesn't have the same... This is a movie with 2 very different viewings upon first and second viewing. The first time there's the tension of what's going to happen. The second time there's the tension of knowing what's going to happen. 2 completely different experiences, equally stressful. Stressful is a good word to describe this movie. I have never had a movie I have had to walk away from. To hit pause and walk away. And just, there's one moment in the movie. This movie doesn't really do jump scares. It doesn't do that kind of thing, which explains why audiences didn't respond to it the way that critics do. Audiences now are conditioned to the sort of It, Conjuring, jump scares. That's what's scary. Something goes boo, There's a big clanging noise, and that's what gets you. Whereas the psychological horror of things like, for instance, The Shining is another good example. Even though The Shining does have the big horror stuff, that comes way late in the movie. The Shining is a family drama about people losing their minds, and that's really what this is. You're watching this mother try to cope with the death of her child, this husband who's trying to keep the family together, while also, he's trying to keep the family together to the point where he's not able to deal with the grief of losing his daughter, a son and a brother who feels responsible for what happened, who is responsible for what happened, and has to live with it, and live with the venom coming from his mother, who cannot forgive him. You're wondering to yourself, this is a horror movie? This is absolutely a horror movie. This movie has images in it. Most of them in the last 15 minutes, maybe. Maybe not even that long. Maybe about the last 15, last 10, it gets really intense. Absolutely a horror movie. And in fact, I'm about to start a new writing project. And really, Hereditary has been essential in helping me figure out how to crack it. Because the project that I'm going to be working on could be described as horror. But what I love about Hereditary is the kind of horror it is. It doesn't have to be dripping fangs and things jumping out at you, and every 10 seconds you have to have something that goes boo. It's like it used to be with Rosemary's Baby, with things like that. It can be a slow burn. It can be watching a family fall apart and going, I thought this was supposed to be scary. This is just sad. The sadness is scary. The scariest moments in this movie, in some ways, are watching not supernatural things, watching humans go through human things, terrifying things, horrifying things, watching that happen. I cannot say that Hereditary is a good time. It's not. This is not an entertaining movie. This is not something that you pop on, for date night. No. This is an experience. And as much as this sounds weird, I'm going to compare it to movies like Schindler's List. Not in that Schindler's List is obviously a much more important movie. 12 Years a Slave is a much more important movie. But it's that same kind of bleakness. It's that same kind of, you don't just watch this for fun. Nobody just puts on Schindler's List. Nobody just puts on Hereditary. You got to be prepared for this movie and for the impact of this movie. I never wanted to see it again after the first time I saw it. I openly said I will never watch this movie again. And I couldn't get it out of my head. I just couldn't get it out of my head. So, Hereditary. Originally, 3 stars. I'm going 4.5 for Hereditary. Even though this is not an entertaining movie, I am betting if I redid like a top 100 list, Hereditary would make it. And for a modern movie, for a newer movie to get on my list like that is rare. Hereditary, again, I'm going 4.5 for one reason only. It is the tension. If you've got stress in your life, if being stressed and tense causes you back problems, or, you know, don't watch this movie if you're sensitive about it. For a movie that I said might make my top 100, and for me to only go 4.5 instead of 5, I'm marking it down for that. I would say I don't know that there's a false note in the movie, something I would change, something that doesn't work for me. But you got to be in the mood to watch this movie, man. You cannot just pop this on. So 4.5 for Hereditary. I'm, take me down again, YouTube, and watch how fast I put up another Hereditary review, because this is a movie everybody should see. I am going to promote it, whether YouTube likes it or not. The worlds.
Sort of gave myself the challenge of, okay,